A very good evening and welcome to News First Primetime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramin Shirugal Bandara.
And I'm Krishna Panditharatna. We start off the news with a look at your headlines.
Provincial Council elections to be held on the 8th of September. A special team from the Criminal Investigations Department begin investigations into the discovery of 2 burnt female bodies in Kahavatta. And the Supreme Court orders the chairman of the University Grants Commission to appear before the court.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has announced that it will withdraw from court duties tomorrow in protest over threats levelled at the manor judge by a minister. This was confirmed by the president of the Bar Association, Parliamentarian Vijayadasa Rajapaksa.
We, being the executive committee of the Sri Lanka Bar Association, today unanimously decided to condemn the attack made on the manor courts and also to express our solidarity to the judicial service officers who have decided to refrain from working tomorrow. At the same time, we also decided that all our members exceeding 11,000 all over the country will refrain from attending to court works tomorrow as a matter of protest against this incident, unpleasant incident. At the same time, we being the Sri Lanka Bar Association decided to initiate action against the minister who had been involved in this incident, who had threatened the learned judge, honorable judge, before the incident and after the incident, and we will prosecute against him and the others who are involved in these criminal activities for contempt of court.
Meanwhile, the Judges Association of Sri Lanka has also stated that although attempts were made to portray the incident which took place at the Manor Court complex as a public protest, it was in fact an organised act challenging the independence of the judiciary on the instigation of a government minister. A release issued by the association says that this action was in contempt of court and an attempt at bearing undue influence on the court. The Judges Association says that these have been pointed out as flaws in the Constitution. The release further states that the association has informed the IGP that the Manor magistrate has given a full statement to the police and that the minister who orchestrated the incident and his goons should be produced before the law without delay. Meanwhile, employees and lawyers at the Manor Court staged a protest today against the incident which took place at the Manor Court complex yesterday. Our correspondent stated that court activities were hindered as a result. The protesters demanded legal action to be taken against those who were behind the incident. Furthermore, the Jaffna District Lawyers Association also staged a protest over the incident. They said that the incident was a threat to the integrity and respect of the judiciary.
Well, General Secretary of the Citizen Front, Parliamentarian Jayashree Ranga, speaking in Parliament, expressed his views regarding the incident that took place at the Manor Court complex yesterday.
ஏற்கனவே இந்த சபையிலே நாங்கள் கூறியிருந்தோம் கரையோர பிரதேசங்களிலே மிகவும் பிரச்சனைகள் நடைபெற்று.
We have already said in Parliament that there were issues in coastal areas. This was about 2 months back. I said 2 months ago that there was a possibility of a clash between Tamils and Muslims in Manor. Due to issues that arise because of certain politicians, we said that there is a possibility of a clash. However, no action was taken about this. Now recently, an unfortunate situation has arisen in coastal areas where Tamils and Muslims could clash. Now the Manor Court complex was damaged in yesterday's incident. The police rejected confirming that such an incident took place. A large crowd had gathered, but the police did not take any action to stop them. Who stopped the police from taking action? Whose political power was it? They had even shouted the name of the judge and had challenged him to come out. Even SP Dissanayake was in prison for contempt of court. If this happened in the south, or if someone in the opposition did such a thing, they would be imprisoned. Those responsible for this incident have not been arrested. Today, a situation has been created by politicians to fulfill their political objectives by creating a conflict between Tamil and Muslim fishermen. The Mana Bishop, Reverend Rayappa Joseph, amidst many problems and having to attend to several religious activities, came at 10 last night and held a discussion with the GA to bring the situation under control. Everyone has a question as to why the government, which says that there needs to be unity between races, is letting such incidents take place. These people were badly affected after the war and were wondering if they could live in peace at least now. And at such a time, why is the government letting incidents of this nature take place, promoting hatred among races? Why won't the government stop this? This is the question in the minds of all the people.
அரசு வளர்க்கிறது ஏன் இந்த அரசு அதை எந்தவித நடவடிக்கையும் கொண்டு தடுக்கிறது இல்லை என்ற ஒரு கேள்வி மக்கள் மத்தியிலே எழுகிறது.
Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohan has said that a special team from the Criminal Investigations Department has already commenced investigations into the discovery of 2 burnt female bodies inside a house in the Kotaketana area in Kahavatta.
Two burnt bodies were discovered inside a house in the Kotaketana area in Kahavatta early this morning. Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohan has said that the bodies were discovered following a tip-off they received that a house had been set on fire. The bodies are believed to be of a 63-year-old mother and her 33-year-old daughter who were residing in the house. A News First team rushed to the location as soon as the incident was reported. Halmadula Additional Magistrate Chandani Niranjala Dias inspected the house where the 2 victims had been residing and the neighborhood this morning.
I heard a noise. I thought it was the sound of crackers being lit at a wedding nearby. Thereafter, my husband's brother opened the door. When he went out, he realized that our neighborhood was on fire.
Incidentally, a police post could be seen in close proximity to the crime scene.
The Kahavatta area has become notorious in recent times owing to the spate of killings that have taken place in the area. Now, there have been several views and opinions being expressed regarding these killings, but the police have been able to make arrests in most of these cases. It is sad to note that 2 double murders were reported earlier this year as well from the Kotaketana area. Also, if you take a look at the killings which took place in the Kahavatta area recently, 2 double murders were reported from the Kotaketana area, that is in addition to the double murders that took place yesterday, and a killing was reported from the Opatha area and another killing was reported from the Dibulwala area.
A double murder of a mother and a daughter was reported from the Kotaketana area in Kahavatta on the 2nd of February. 3 suspects had been arrested, including a member of the Godakavela Pradeshya Sabha, in connection with the incident. Meanwhile, 2 female charred bodies were found inside a house down Temple Road in Varapitia in the Kotaketana area in Kahavatta on the 31st of May. A nephew of the victim was arrested in connection with the incident. This footage of the locations where the previous crimes took place was shot today. Moreover, another murder was reported from the Opatha area in Kahavatta on the 16th of December last year. A murder was reported from the Dibulwala area in Kahavatta on the 4th of April last year as well.
Well, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk for an in-depth story on the discovery of 2 more female bodies in the Kahavatta area.
In other local news, Assistant Elections Commissioner RMAL Ratnayaka announced that the Provincial Council election for the North Central, Sabaragamu and Eastern Provincial Councils will be held on the 8th of September. The accepting of nominations for the Provincial Council election concluded at 12 noon today. Meanwhile, 4 nomination lists were forwarded for the Trincomalee, Ratnapura, Ampara and Kekol districts have been rejected.
The Election Secretariat said that nomination lists of 89 accepted political parties and 86 independent groups had been accepted. The United People's Freedom Alliance handed over its nomination list for the Ampara district today. National organizer of the United National Party, Daya Gamage, handed over the nomination list of the party for the Ampara district.
නැගෙනහිර පළාතේ
I would like to note that when the UNP emerges victorious from the Eastern Province, I have a plan to develop the area using the resources available with the Eastern Provincial Council without obtaining a single cent from the government.
දියුණු කරන සැලැස්ම මගේ ගාව තියෙනවා කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී
Meanwhile, parliamentarian Mave Senadiraja handed over the nomination list of the Tamil National Alliance for the Ampara district today. Minister Rauf Hakim handed over the nomination list of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress. The UPFA also handed over its nomination list for the Batticaloa district. There were bunkers and checkpoints on the road earlier. 3 Claymore mines were discovered day before the election. However, that situation has changed today. UPFA group leader for the Trincomalee district, Abdul Najid A. Majid, handed over the nomination list for the district. Incidentally, the National Freedom Front handed over its nomination list for the first time for a provincial council election for the Trincomalee district today. Meanwhile, group leader Kings Nelson handed over the nomination list of the UNP for the Polonnaruwa district. Group leader of the UPFA, Berti Premalal Dissanayake, handed over the party's nomination list for the Anuradhapura district. We will record a landslide victory at the election and establish a strong provincial council. The ex-Sat Lanka Mahasabhava also handed over its nomination list for the Anuradhapura district. Meanwhile, the UPFA handed over its nomination list for the Kegalle district today. The Janata Vimukthi Peramuna also handed over its nomination list for the Kegalle district today. Staying in news from the electoral front, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress says that it will contest the upcoming provincial council election independently, adding however that the party will remain a part of the government. Leader of the SLMC, Minister Rauf Hakim, made this statement to the media after handing over the party's nomination list in Ampara today.
Sri Lanka Muslim Congress කියන්නේ රජය තුල ඉන්න
The Muslim Congress is like the conscience of the Muslim community within the government. So we made an effort to sort this out. We had to negotiate and create the backdrop for an agreement to move out and contest independently. However, it must be stated that we will remain as a part of this government. We hope to engage in discussions following the election and form a new governing alliance between the SLMC and the UPFA.
චෝදනාවක් තිරව ඔබතුමාට ඔබ මැතිවරණ කාලෙට විතරයි නැගෙන්ට එන්න කියලා මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව චෝදනාවක් තියෙනවා. මේක නෑමක් කියන්න පුළුවන්ද?
ඔබතුමාට ඒක දකින්න පුළුවන් මේ මැතිවරණ සමයේදී.
Now, meanwhile, during a media briefing held today, General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Maithripala Sirisena, shared these views on the decision taken by the SLMC. Minister Rauf Hakim is an individual who serves as a minister in our cabinet. The SLMC took the decision to contest independently after holding discussions with us. We need to state this clearly.
තීරණයට ගියේ අපි සමග සාකච්ඡා කළා. ඒක බොහොම පැහැදිලිව කියන්නට ඕනේ.
However, Deputy Minister Faiza Mustafa charged that the SLMC is engaging in opportunistic politics. The Deputy Minister stated, as a result of this, people look at the Muslim community with a gendercide eye.
මුලින්ම අභාප්‍රාප්ත අශ්රෆ් මැතිතුමා මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට කරපු සේවය මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මම සිහිපත් කරනවා.
I first wish to remember the yeoman service rendered towards the Muslim community by the late Mr. Ashraf. The SLMC is to contest the Eastern Provincial Council election separately. They held numerous discussions with the alliance. Due to the opportunistic politics of the Muslim Congress, people look at the Muslim community with a jaundiced eye. The SLMC was in and out of the government on a number of occasions. They should stick to a steady policy. I urge the Muslim community not to fall for the opportunistic politics of the Muslim Congress.
මා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා මුස්ලිම් කොංග්‍රසයේ අවස්ථාවාදී දේශපාලනයට අහු වෙන්න එපා කියලා.
Let's now take a look at the cartoon of the day which we selected from amongst today's English newspapers.